What's going on, guys? Welcome to a new episode of the Rocket X podcast. I'm your host, Victor Rancour, but today we're doing things a little bit differently. If you guys are seeing this live, there will be obviously this will be live on Apple and Spotify, hopefully by next week. But today we're doing things a little bit differently. I got Tim on here, who's actually going to be our co-host today, and he's going to be going through and interviewing me. So I'll be the first guest of this new season of the Rocket X podcast, and I'm excited and lots of new things going on. So Tim, take it away, brother.
Victor, thank you for having me, man, and thank you for kind of getting me involved with everything that you're doing. I've absolutely been loving it. So, man, wanted to start by just asking you, like what's new, right? Like, what's new with what we have going on? What's new with you?
I mean, honestly, everything's kind of life's a little different now. Since I sold Absolute, that first year was a little weird and trying to figure out what I want to do, where I want to be, where I want to live. Did a lot of traveling. I was living out in Texas. I was on the road a lot. I mean, I think it was over 100 flights last year. I think kind of what's new now is just really trying to slow down and be really calculated in things that we're doing. Obviously we're growing our business out in Arizona with Fiscore. We've taken that thing from a $2 million business and budgeting for this year for 18 million out of that little market. So we're pretty excited about that. And then obviously the other acquisitions like Alabama and some other ones that we have in the works is what I've been focused on. And really just helping our clients, man. We just got back from South Carolina last week, working with one of our great clients out there and really just going through and helping them streamline their business and figure out a way to be obviously more profitable, but get ready to scale. So we helped them with a little bit expansion planning, stuff like that. So I've just been staying busy, but I've been really just trying to stay home. I'm up at my house here in Huntington Beach, and I've been just trying to hang out on the beach and really slow down. I've been running for 10 years now. It's crazy. This month is a decade in HVAC, which is I never thought I'd make it that long.
Dude, that's a long time, especially at the age of 37. I think 37, right? So
36, bro. Chill.
Okay, my bad. I was thinking that you were a year older than me. My bad. No, I love that. So let's talk about like acquisitions for a minute. I know that you just recently acquired another company over in Alabama and stuff like that. Talk about like why you like to do these types of deals and why it makes sense for you.
At the end of the day, we do our partnership or acquisitions are different than anything else, right? So we really come in and we really take over, obviously a lot of the operational side, but we really look for hungry entrepreneurs that want to grow, that maybe just don't have the right direction, and they need to be able to kind of have someone guide them where they want to go. So first and foremost, I try to partner with people that have been clients with me or that I've done work in the past that actually show initiative, right? Because at the end of the day, if I come into a business and the guy doesn't want to work, doesn't want to do the things, doesn't want to follow through, there's not so much I can do. So ideally, we try to vet them. Obviously, we get hundreds of people that are like, "Hey, you want to partner? Want to invest? Want to do this?" And obviously, you have to really be really picky of who you partner with and choose. And obviously, I look for strategic areas. So like we're really going heavier in these smaller markets. So instead of going into Los Angeles or Phoenix, right? Let's go to the city outside of Phoenix. Let's go to Prescott. Let's go to the smaller market where we can dominate in the marketing. We can dominate in the whole process and really do something different than the whole everybody else is doing there. So we've been really targeting that, trying to be really strategic in who we partner with. But yeah, we're really excited about Caswell out in Alabama. I do have another big acquisition we're probably going to close this week. I'm hoping if everything goes well. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, the Caswell one I'm excited about. Dan Antonelli did the rebrand. My partner there, he's been in business for over 10 years. He started with his grandpa working out of their truck, and he's grown it. It's not a very big business yet. We should have about 7 trucks on the road by the end of the month. And really just starting to grow it. So we're starting to do some new marketing. Obviously, we implemented RP1. That was the first thing we did. We've been getting 10 to 20 leads a day just off their current customers. And obviously some other strategic steps that we're doing with that. But yeah, obviously the partnerships for me, it's finding the right guy. We have the infrastructure, we have the marketing, we have the processes, we have everything dialed in. We've been doing it now and proving it. So we've been able to take these businesses and grow them pretty fast and really just dive in. And it's been exciting. And I think we have some really big stuff that's going to happen. And our client and our partners are really growing fast. So it's been nice.
What's the most rewarding part about that for you?
Dude, I got a text message from Kevin Fiscore today, and Kevin just got approved for his new house. I think it's like a $1.7 million home or something like that. And He's been living in a smaller house, very modestly. He's had that business for a long time and never really got to pay himself what it deserves to be an owner. To see him now making more money he's ever made in his life, buying his dream home, and the business growing and thriving, and we're now the biggest company in the market, right? And Kevin now doesn't have to be in the day to day. I mean, a lot of times he's out running, he goes and exercises, and he does his ultra marathon stuff. So it's been cool to see him be able to transition to where he's not running calls, he's not picking up a freaking tool bag. Now he's making more money he's ever made in his life, and obviously that's what gets me excited. And that the text message today was really kind of cool.
This is the second time I've interviewed you, and the first time I interviewed you, I asked a question: what was your like biggest achievement in business? And the answer was very similar. Your answer last time was, how many people like that I've made independently wealthy, and I think that's awesome. And I know at least for me too, working with you has helped me obviously a lot, and I appreciate that. But talk about like a little bit more about like what that does for you with as far as the partnership side. But obviously we have Profit Rocket as well, and so we're constantly helping people. Talk about like what that means to you, and what watching some of these people scale their lives, what that really
Well,
means to you.
well, today was actually 4 years ago. I did my very first sales trading class, and I remember how nervous I was. I posted online, and I had, I don't know, 20, 30 people that flew in from all over the country. And I threw my first class, and it's funny, Kevin was in my first class, and I posted the picture today, and Kevin is like 100 pounds heavier. So like to
Mm-hmm.
see the impact that we've had on Kevin's life. So Kevin came to me my very first class doing 285,000 a year just by himself, chucking a truck. And he came in and he started coming to all my classes and taking notes and taking notes and taking notes and watching him progress. And not only as a businessman, but also as a person, right? Like I've seen Kevin completely turn his life around. Or we've had other people where we had our event in Austin it's almost been 2 years ago now when we had the Tomahawk Steaks. But there's a couple guys that went to that event that have completely changed their entire life. Like they don't drink anymore. They're down 100 pounds. They don't have diabetes. Like all their medical conditions are gone. So stuff like that are the stories that I really like. And then also, seeing some of these guys that have started businesses and I've helped scale them and help them, really start changing the way they do business. And to see the success now, like 4 years into now training and really consulting. So I mean, obviously we've only been business consulting for about 2 years now. But seeing that transition and seeing what we can do and impact people has been great. And now if we've trained thousands of people, like people don't even realize how many people have been through our Profit Rocket program. I mean, I think we have one of the bigger best practices out there, and people don't even realize it, that we're larger than almost all of them. I mean, we average 200 new customers a month or something
Yeah.
like that through the program. So it's pretty cool, and you get to see on the back end all the people using it and implementing it. And actually, I had a buddy. He sent me a picture the other day, and a guy had applied, and he said he was Profit Rocket certified on his application. So that was kind of cool.
I love that. That's super cool. I just crossed it. I think we just crossed a year with Profit Rocket myself. Since I first met you and everything like that, and it's crazy to see that like we're really picking up steam right now. What would you say the biggest difference between Profit Rocket, who we are, how we operate, and anyone else?
I think we're like one of the ones that want to really help the smaller guy, right? Like, one of the big things I ran into with consultants and trainers and all this stuff is that they want to just give you, like, spoon feed you a little bit of stuff, right? They want to give you a little bit, so you have to keep coming back and back and back. And I think one of the things, it's almost like drinking through water, like through a freaking fire hose when you join Profit Rocket. But we generally try to get you all the information right away so you can actually implement it and actually get where you want to go. So we can cut a year or 2 years off the timeline if you're willing to do it. Right now, keep in mind, some people take forever to make a decision. Some people they don't jump right in, or some people take forever to actually take action. And obviously action is going to be the number one reason for success, right? If you don't take action, you're never going to win. Yeah, so some people put their toes in and little by little, but then some of our clients like give me everything, boom, 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 like Steva out of Florida, right? Like she wants everything. She implements that shit
Mhm.
and she follows it and she does it. You watch the success and you watch it happen. And I think that's one thing that's cool with us. Like we'll give you as much as information as you want, how fast you want it, or we can go slow or whatever you want. And then I think we're probably one of the only ones that really help the small guy. Like we have a lot of startups. I have guys that are getting their contractor's license, just got their license. We build out everything for them, so they look like $1 million or $100 million company day one. They have all the stuff they need, which
Mhm.
normally would take years and years and years to try to figure out.
Yes, it's really cool how I think we really turn decades into days. Like that's a major thing. And then we're available, and then obviously you're still operating. You still do call by call, quite a bit. I think, don't you?
Yeah, so obviously in my business, obviously we're trying to replace ourselves as much as possible, but I'm good at sales. So like, we step in, I do some call by call management with my staff in Arizona, and they call me for role play, and I'm still very active in the businesses every day. Like, I'm very active in just we're very active in Caswell and anything else that we're partnered in. So people ask me, I don't know how the hell I have so much time in the day. But sales will always be in my blood, and obviously we're hiring more people, and we got some other people coming in. But if I can jump on the phone and close a deal, I'm still gonna do it, right? It's just like fucking Kobe's still gonna, or Jordan's still gonna can still shoot a shot, better than anybody else. So, yeah, and something that we're trying to get away from. Obviously, as we scale, we're going to get bigger. Our goal is to have 10 companies in the Rocket Group this year. So obviously, we have six more acquisitions planned before the end of the year that we hopefully will get done. And obviously, as you do that, you got to hire and scale and hire great people. And I got some really high level salespeople that are looking to join the team pretty soon here.
I love that, man. Um, let's talk about like what's coming. Like, what is there anything else? Obviously, we want 10 companies under the Rocket Group before the end of the year. What else is coming that we should talk about?
I mean, obviously, we're just always trying to improve. Obviously, RP1, we have a lot of stuff that we're getting ready to roll out from the AI aspect of it. We have Call Houston, which is hopefully we're going to roll that out probably by April or May is our goal, probably May at this point. But it's an AI call center that's really just trained by my team, and we've been running a call center now for 4 years through Rocket Bookings, and we've really trained this AI to be able to do inbound, outbound, everything. And so I'm really excited about that. And also some new features that are dropping in RP1 that no other SMS software, anything like that on the market doesn't have it. Not Marketing Pro, not Chirp, not any of those guys have it. So we're getting excited. We're going to probably roll that out at the event at Profit of Sanity next month. It's fucking dope, and I can't say it on here because it's going to give them they're going to want to go try to make that shit right away. So we're going to roll that out for our customers. They're going to be excited. Your call board is always going to be full. It's pretty dope.
I love that, man. Um, working with you, it's funny because like there's something new I feel like going on all the time where I literally will have to call you and like, what's new? What do I need to know? What do I not need to know? You know what I mean? So I love how fast we're moving. Now you kind of mentioned it there. This year we did quite a few events. We did Texas, we did Arizona. I know a lot of people are asking if we're going to go out east or anything like that. Kind
No,
of talk about, your locations and why you like to do them where you're at.
Obviously, I've been on the road for years, dude. Like, I missed a lot of time with my kids, and I made it a point this year that I'm not traveling. I won't speak on anybody else's stage. I only speak at my events, and everything's gonna be here in California. I live in fucking paradise, dude. Like, the beach is 100, 200 yards away from me. The hotel we're having our event at's fantastic. I'm gonna probably rent it out a couple times a year, throw smaller events, but we're not interested in throwing a big event because big events like they can be impactful from the meeting standpoint, but you don't get as much information. So we're trying to really do more tactical events like Profit of Sanity. Like I don't know anybody else in the event space. I don't think there is anybody that's doing what we're doing with that event. We're literally when you buy a ticket to the event, we're going to audit your business before you get out there. We're going to literally have a playbook when you get there of all the things that we think you're doing good, what you can improve on. We're doing market analysis for you. We're doing all this stuff. So when you get there, you already have like a playbook. And then we're going to spend 2 days just pouring into you, going through your entire business, through the operation, sales, marketing, like everything. So when you leave there, you have something actionable to go implement. So it's not just, guy going up there telling his story on stage and how great he is and puffing his chest. It's going to be us working directly with you, between me, Michelle, Casey, Mike, and some other people that we're going to have there. So we're excited about that, and you know, we're going to continue to do events like that. I'm not interested in the rah rah shit. You're not going to see a big name on my stages anymore. You're not going to see me trying to have Rick Ross or throw these big events. It just doesn't make sense. So like the goal is to actually help contractors, not just have them spend a bunch of money to come party and bullshit. When you come out, like even the VIP guests are going to spend 3 hours with me after hours and just go through their entire business. So that's kind of how we're changing the event space. And you know, I'm not interested. I don't need to have a big ego and big events and have fucking all these guys that just stage sluts that want to just come beg and be on my stage. I've put so many people on over the last couple of years and gave all these people a platform, and all these people just fucking blew me off like I was a fucking asshole. So I'm like, all right, guys. So I think we're noticing pretty much now, like all these people, like they're not getting as much FaceTime and stuff ever since they kind of blew me off. So that's been something that's bugged the shit out of me. Is like I put all these people on and then they fucking turn their back on me. So it kind of sucked.
You know, one of the things when I was like going to come on board with you is like everybody around you is winning and has been winning, and that was like a major motivating factor for me to come on board. And you know, obviously it's went really well, I think. Now let's kind of hammer on this Profit is Sanity event, because it really is different. You did just touch on like the analysis, but where did this idea come from, and how? I mean, because the reality is this is a very much a different event than anything else I've ever been to, or you know, anybody that I've talked to has been to. So kind of touch on like where that came from, and really what you're looking to get out of it.
It's really how can we impact people, right? And how can we make it worth their time? These people are spending all this money. I mean, it costs, you know, $1,500 for a ticket, flights, hotels, travel, get away from your business. And every time I go to these events, and I've been on every event you could think of, I've been there or been on the stage or something like that. And you know, every time I left there, where it's just like it just didn't have any substance behind it. There was just nothing there. And I know now with my team and the stuff that we built out and we've proven and we've, you know, we've done it all over, like we can impact businesses really quickly. And so I think that was a key behind it. I also, the first business event I ever went to was a guy named Judge Graham and Matt Monero. These two guys, they ran a business coaching event called Burn the Ships. And it's kind of the same, almost kind of the same concept, almost not really as in depth as what we're doing. Because they had different industries. We're really trying to be really narrow, specific to our industry and what we do. But you know, it was super impactful. Like, and when I left that event, like I just remember, like I want to fucking run my head through a wall. I was so excited. And I think that, you know, and I look back, and Judge is a friend of mine, and you know, a very, very, very successful person, and done multiple exits, and he still spends time with me. And just the amount of time I got to spend with someone that was successful was awesome, because it was intimate. It's not just some guy behind a stage. He comes up and talks, and you don't get to see him. Like this event, I'm going to be in the crowd with everybody the entire time, talking with them, working with them, answering questions. So I just think I wanted to change it up and make it worth people's time. Is you know, everything's so expensive nowadays that it's got to be worth coming out to.
If someone was to pay for like this and the analysis that we're doing, what would that cost someone outside of an event like this?
I don't. I mean, I paid, you know, consultants $30,000 to come in and do something like what we're doing, to really go audit the business and go through it and go and really help us put a business plan in place and expansion planning and all that stuff. So I would say probably 30 grand at least to actually have someone that spend that much time on your business specifically, and actually give you the real actionable stuff you can do. And you know, and we've seen like the impact it can have. Like, you know, I was working with one client recently, and just a 2 hour call with them cut $40,000 a month in overhead. And just going through their operations and what was messing up. And you know, I know me and Michelle, we worked with them, and we put an action plan in place for them, and literally $40,000 a month they saved right away, just in overhead and just operational fixes. And that's just month one, right? And what that compounds over time, because then you can invest that money, that 40 grand, into marketing and other
Right.
things that scales. But yeah, so stuff like that is, we know we can impact people. And I think that's what it's all about, man. I think I've spent a lot of years trying to prove like you know, flex and act like you know, try to really care about too much about what other people think, and throw these events that really had no substance behind them. I mean, we talked about good stuff on the stage, but it was all about partying and bullshit. And I think we're really trying to change the concept behind what we're about. And you know, that's kind of put that stuff in the past. And you know, the new version of Proper Rocket is just pouring into our clients and trying to help them.
I love that. What else do you? Is there anything else that anybody who doesn't have a ticket should know about the event that should get them there?
I mean, obviously, we're almost sold out. So, I mean, obviously, if you are going to come, I would suggest doing it. I mean, obviously, this is not what this whole thing's about. Obviously, we could talk about some other stuff as well. But if you haven't got a ticket yet, it's just one of those things. Spend a little bit of money, come out. If you can't make it out, we have a virtual available too. I spent a bunch of money for the Wi-Fi at the hotel, so if you guys want to come virtually, we can set that up for you guys. But at the end of the day, when you come into an environment like this, you come in, you step away from your business, and you kind of get to again golf yourself for what we're doing is way more impactful than sitting behind a screen. And obviously, you can get great information behind a screen, but spending the money, getting away from your business, if you can't spend 1,500 bucks, a couple $1,000 on your business to help it grow, then you're really just I don't know what you're doing. You might as well just fucking fold up the doors now. And that's a reality. When someone's like, I can't afford it, I'm like, well, if you can't afford it, I can only imagine how bad the business needs it. And I think that's one of the things. Like every time someone says I can't afford it, I'm like, you can't not afford it because you're gonna if you keep doing what you're doing, inflation's only gonna get worse. Everything's gonna get worse. And it's gonna compound, and then what's gonna happen? You're gonna close your fucking doors. So
Yeah.
like you got to come in and make some changes and be ready to make changes. Like don't even come out here if you're not gonna do something. If you're not gonna implement it, like that. If someone says, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna implement it," perfect. Stay home. Don't implement it because you're not going to. If you go in with a mindset you're not gonna do something, but if you come in with a mindset, hey, I'm open minded, I want to change my business, I want to grow my business, like we're going to give you the whole game plan, what we did with Fiscore, what we're doing, we're about to do with Caswell, everything. We're going to tell you everything. There's nothing that we're going to hide from you. We'll show you P&Ls, we'll show you all the stuff that we're working on. So unlike everybody else, like we have nothing to hide. We'll show you everything. And if you guys want to follow it, you can follow it, or if not, then it's no problem. Like, but at the end of the day, I don't even want you to come unless you're ready to change.
Man, did you ever have a time like when you were building your business where like you didn't like where you were scared to invest or where you were like where you had that kind of
Dude, I was fucking broke, dude. I had a bunch of revenue and no fucking money. And obviously, I told my story a lot of times, man. I almost closed my doors. I grew my business so fast. I didn't understand cash flow. I didn't understand the finances. I didn't understand operations. I had four people doing this a job that should have been one person. So like all those things that you guys are going through and that our clients are going through, that's what happened to me because like my ego wouldn't get out of my way. I thought I knew best and I would just push forward and I just keep selling my way out of problems because we can sell like crazy, but we sold all this shit and we had nothing left over. Right. And that's what operations is about, right? Operations is really understanding the business and where everything goes and how to actually make the thing make profit. Like if you're not making 20% net, you need to come to this event, period. Like we make 20% and that's what we do in every one of my fucking companies because we demand that. We understand the operations, we understand what it takes, we understand how many people it takes to actually get there. At Fiscore, we're almost doing $1 million a month with like 29 people or something. So like in reality, like obviously we run it very efficiently. We're very smart and we're not flashy. We're not doing stupid stuff. And one of the other things at the event, we have one of Paul Childers going to come out and teach you about business credit, how to build business credit. Because if you want to grow your business and you don't have business credit, you might as well you have to wait till you fix it. Because if you try to scale and you don't have the cash flow to get to where you need to be, it's going to be an issue.
yeah. So I mean, let's talk about that. Let's talk about business credit. I mean, a lot. I ran across somebody today who said they're self-funding their business, and talk about why that. I mean, why you never did that, or why you ended up
Well,
using that business credit. I know you did bankroll it for a while, but
yeah, I mean, obviously, I started with 10 grand, and I used credit, but the problem was it's the same thing. I didn't know how to build business credit, so I had to take shitty business loans, and that's what happens to contractors. And I bet you some of you guys are watching right now. You got one of those MCA loans, those merchant cash advances. They give you 200 grand, but they make you pay it back right away, and you're paying a crazy ass interest rate because you don't have business credit and you haven't built up your credit and your reliability. So now you're taking shitty money. So the key to business is borrowing good money, right? Like there's good debt and there's bad debt. If you're taking those MCA advance loans that they pay you right away, and also they're taking money out every week, it's gonna kill your cash flow. You're not gonna be able to sustain it. So the big thing with business credit is building it up to where you can go to your bank and get proper loans and making sure, the other thing is making sure you're profitable, right? So like if you're trying to grow your business super fast and there's no profit at the bottom, no bank's gonna want to deal with you, right? They're not going to put money into a business because statistically 95% fail in the first 5 years and 98% in the first 10. So why would they want to gamble money on a business that hasn't even stabilized and isn't making profit? And so many people all the time, they're like, well, I'm just reinvesting. I'm like, no, you're not, bro. You're just not making money. You haven't figured out the problem. You don't understand what's going on with the business to be able to make money. So business credit is key. Obviously, you're making sure you got good credit with your vendor and good credit with your bank and all that stuff, and then it allows you to really scale.
So we went over kind of the new stuff for RP1. Um, what about like the profit rocket, like the blueprint? Like where do you see that going? With
I
us
mean,
having so
honestly,
many, with us having so much, sorry, with us having like we have a lot of new clients each month. Where do you see that going?
I mean, obviously, it's going to continue to grow, and obviously trying to make sure that we're sustainable and make sure we're able to take care of our customers. Obviously, we're bringing in new clients every single day. So the big thing is can you service them, and what kind of support can you offer them? So I know we're definitely looking to hire Profit Rocket, and bring in more coaches and bring more people that can do more hands on. I mean, a lot of stuff that our clients get is like, yeah, they want someone to babysit them and hold their hand, right? And that's just reality. So like they want like one-on-one business coaching, which we don't really do too much of right now, but we're looking into bringing in some people that do some one-on-one coaching. Michelle has a couple clients, but realistically, that's not where our focus is. So really, what the blueprint is like, hey, this is online training. You have all the access to everything. But I found that most contractors want to be handheld and babysat, right? And so we're looking, this year is to bring some people in that can hold your guys' hand and walk you through the motions and all that stuff. And that's how some people learn. But I think that's definitely something we're working on that we're excited about. But yeah.
Um, and so how has life changed since kind of getting your new spot? I know you sold your house in Huntington and now you're finally back. Have a central location, dude, right next to the beach. How does that feel, man?
Dude, I spent all last year on the road, so it was definitely a lot of Airbnbs and traveling and back and forth to Arizona and all over the place. So, it's nice being back home. Like I said, I really just this year's like the goal was to slow down. I want to start coaching my kids sports again and be able to take time with them. And I've been chasing money for 10 years, and I found that this year I chase less and I'm making more. So it's been nice. Like I'm just sitting back and trying to be really calculated with what I can do, and then focus on the stuff that we do have in place right now. But it's been nice, man. I've been trying to slow down. I go to every day I'm on the beach with my dog. I walk down the main street and get coffee, and just really trying to slow down and allow myself to enjoy it. Because like, dude, for 10 years I was running and I wasn't enjoying anything. And my only happiness was the next dopamine hit of the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. So I'm really trying to slow down while also not stopping business. But I'm trying to put things in place where I'm less involved as far as the day to day, but I'm still able to run the stuff. So it's been nice being back home. I'm excited for people to come out and enjoy my city. I mean, obviously, this is a tourist destination. People come from all over the world to come to my city. So I'm like, I don't know why the hell I keep leaving. So that's my goal this year, is not leave.
And and it's funny because I was talking to you the other day, and you're going to Maui in a couple of days, and it's like you were almost not that thrilled about going to what I would consider paradise. But dude, I mean, I'm looking behind you, and it's like, well, no kidding, that's why.
I personally don't like vacations. Like I think that if you've built a life that you need a vacation, then you don't have really built a life at all. If that makes sense. So like I don't need to go on a vacation to be happy. Like I could be at my house and go down the street and like hang out and relax. So like I built a life where I could be on vacation all the time. So obviously we're excited to take the kids to Maui and stuff, and me and Kevin are taking our families and stuff, and I think that's the cool thing, is that we're, as business partners, we've been very, very successful, and we said, hey, let's take some time before the busy season. Let's unwind. Let's go spend some time, hang out with the kids, hang out on the beach, and just get ready for what's going to happen this year. We're expected to be doing multi-million-dollar months by next month, so we know it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a lot of stuff in place. So yeah, it's nice to be able to step away. It's nice to be able to see my business partner be able to do something like that. And really that's the kind of stuff that I really do this for. Like, when I partnered with Kevin, and I told him I wanted to do this, and he asked me to come partner with them, and I said, look, yeah, I said, I took less ownership percentage, because I said, I want you to win huge. Like, I want, when we go exit this thing, I want you to make life-changing money. I'm going to have plenty other deals. I'll probably exit, a dozen or more businesses over the next 30 years. Kevin's going to get this. This is his baby, right? So when I came in, I told him, I said, hey, trust me, we're going to build this thing. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get you where you got to go. And I took less equity because I wanted him to win bigger. So that's what I'm really excited about to see. And then him going on vacation, him paying himself more, him buying a multi-million dollar home, like that kind of stuff is really why we do this.
And it seems like every single day that I look that I look at his story or your story. There's a new trucks being dropped off, new vans being dropped off, more getting wrapped and stuff like that. Dude, it's really cool to see, man. Um,
Yeah, it's crazy because it's a small, like, people don't understand how small the market is. It's less than 150,000 people, and for us to do what we're doing, we're already, we went from, the less than $2 million business, and now we're the biggest player in the market, and we're growing crazy, and we're looking to go into Phoenix. I think we're debating if we're gonna buy a business in Phoenix, or if we're just gonna greenfield one, open an office there. With some of the marketing stuff that we do, I think that we can open an office and just be fine right away, pretty quickly. But Phoenix is obviously the next destination. I mean, Kevin's gonna get he's finally gonna get his pilot license. I said I was gonna get it, but he said he wouldn't fly with me if I had it anyway, because I'm a fucking crazy person. Um, so he's gonna get his pilot's license. We're gonna get a helicopter so we can go back and forth, and probably a little plane so I can go back and forth from Cali to come out to Arizona, so I can fly into Sedona, because right now it takes forever to go, because we're up in the BFE, so I got to fly into Phoenix and drive 2 hours to where our office is up in the middle of nowhere. So we're looking to get a little plane and looking to get a little helicopter to go back and forth between the locations.
can I call dibs on flying with you for the first time?
Dude, I, the last thing you want to do is get in a car or a plane or anything with me driving. I'm a psycho. Like,
What are some goals you have, man, just in life, like for this year? Like, what do you got going on, man? Besides the business stuff.
yeah, my number one goal is to start coaching my kids football again. So getting them ready for fall, and that's really, like, that's nothing brings me more joy than watching my kid play sports and do that stuff. So just really getting more involved with that is really my number one goal this year. And then other than that, man, just trying to be the best person I could be, man. Like, I've had to go through a lot of growing up, and I think that, a lot of people have this preconceived notion about me, and I'm like, maybe that was true in the past, but it's not really me anymore. And just really being selective. I've really narrowed down my circle. Like, I don't even really want to freaking work for, like, I don't even want to, I don't want to go kiss everybody's ass. Like, dude, that's like, it's like a big kiss ass, and all these conventions and all this stuff. It's the same people going in and out. And, like, I want real connections with people. Everybody's so fucking fake, and I'm just trying to get away from as many fake people as I can, and just really enjoy life.
That's awesome. I just saw my daughter play for the first time, and that was amazing. That was amazing to see. It's really, as a parent, I definitely understand kind of where you're at there. Like, just kind of seeing that competitive edge and stuff like that is awesome to see. Um, Man, is there anything else that you want to touch on?
No, man, I'm excited that you're back to health. So Tim's been in, I don't know if he's been in and out of working on his new sex change. No, he's been in and out of the hospital for the last couple of months. So excited to see you back healthy. And that's one thing. Will come when to meet with you when I started working with Ryan Stuman and that whole fucking debacle. That was an absolute mess. But when we're working with him, and seeing the person you were then to now, to be able to actually be happy and be able to take care of your family and be able to afford your bills and not be berated by somebody all day, and seeing you kind of change has been great. So, I'm glad I got you away from that situation, and glad that you're doing well. So,
Dude,
but yeah, I mean, huh?
it couldn't have been, it's like this really kind of goes to show, like, other people, like, when you have something bad go on in your life, like, it might not actually be bad. I was on a call earlier today, and I explained that, right? Like, what a situation where I came into that situation, like, in a very good place in life, and then quickly it just wasn't, and then that's how I met you, right? And I know that there's going to be opportunities for equity in companies and stuff like that in the future with you and stuff. That's been a real blessing. And so, like, not everything, if you guys are watching this, like, not everything that's bad, that's happening to you, that's bad, is actually a bad thing, right?
And dude, that's life, right? Like, I mean, I'm the same way. I've been through a lot of this stuff, and obviously, at some point I'll finally actually release my book, and kind of tell some of the real stories and stuff that's happened in the back end that's happened. But like, I look at it like there's so many things that have gone bad, but also, like, yeah, the same thing, man. You just always got to find the bright side, and always got to push forward. But I mean, I've made a lot of cool connections. A lot of things have happened because of bad shit that's happened to me. So it's kind of, I get what you're saying, and it's like one of those things, man. Like, bad shit's gonna happen, and you can't be an entrepreneur and not expect things to go wrong. But when things go wrong, what happens? Do you fold? Do you cower? Do you give up? Or, like you smile and push forward? Like 2024 and 20, end of 23 and 24 were kind of weird years for me. I just, obviously selling my business and that emotional, connection I had to that business. And that was my identity for so many years. So like I went through a lot of depression, a lot of stuff that happened last year that, I wasn't happy about. And I wish I could go back and change and stuff. But at the end of the day, like I had to go through that and you had to go through that emotion and go through, figure it out what the fuck I want to do, man. Like I think that's been the hardest thing since selling my business is like people don't talk about it enough about the emotional connection you have, especially when you grow something from nothing. Like if you go buy a business and you grow it and sell it, like you had a plan in place, but I didn't plan to grow that business to sell it. I planned to, to build it and do all this stuff. And then, obviously the opportunity came along and we sold the business. But like you don't know, like after it's signed, that deal is done. It's not your baby anymore. And I see it every day, and I drive by and all this stuff, and I'm like, "Fuck, man, I miss my baby." So definitely, it was an emotional 2024. So I think this year I'm excited about just getting my mental back, getting my mindset back to where it needs to be. So yeah.
There's one, something else that you've helped me with a lot is like, I really gave a shit about what every person thought of me. And and
Yeah.
and and that was something that you really got on me for right away. Like when we first met, it was like, dude, you can't do that. You can't be that person. That's not how. Not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna give a shit. And that's something that really, I think you've helped me out a lot with. Is just like, because that's also been you over the last like year. You don't get like you've went from a place where you don't give a fuck. Like there's so many people that have like treated you wrong or done you wrong, and it's like, cool, that's fine that you did that, but now that it's over, and you're just you've never really been wanted to be liked by everyone, and I really do value that too.
I used to want to be loved by everybody, and now it's like, dude, like when you see people when people use you and you see them using you, and you finally realize that they're using you, they don't really give a shit about you. And I think that's one of the things, like, even with like Michelle, she always tells me all the time, she's like, dude, these people don't care about you. Like, why do you care so much? Why do you help so many people? Why are you putting competitors on your stage? Why do you put your people in that really don't give a fuck about you? You're bringing them in to put them up. And I'm like, I never look at anybody like competition, to be honest. Like, I feel like I got my own class, I got my own thing. And one thing, something the other day is like, someone was talking shit. He's like, "Oh, you just block people." I was like, "Yeah, you're the fuck out of my story. Like, if I block you, you don't fucking matter to me." And people are like, "Oh, have you heard this?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't care about that person. Once I know you're a snake, and I don't need anything to do with it." And people like nothing will piss somebody off more than blocking them. So that's kind of what I do now. Like, you fuck me, I'm just like, block you. You're out of my story. I don't even think about you anymore. You're gone.
I love it, man. Well,
All
Vic,
right,
I
man.
appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on too. I hope I can do more of these with you. But yeah, man, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, April 10th and 11th, right here in beautiful Huntington Beach. Get out to Profit of Sanity. We have less than 30 tickets left. It's going to be a great event, dude. It's $1,500. Like, spend the $1,500. Come in. If you're not blown away by what we do, like, I'll literally give you the damn money back, because I know what we're doing. There's nobody else out there that's throwing an event like this, a mastermind that's literally going to change your business within 2 days. So get out, go to callprofitrocket.com, get some tickets, or hit up Tim. Tim can get you tickets as well for 14.95, dude. You can't beat what we're gonna do for you. So see you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you guys next month. See ya. We got some sales classes too coming up. Tim can tell you about too. All right, guys. Have
Thanks,
a good
man.
night.